What's up, Teen Talk fam? It's your host, Deshaun B, here with
Miss KK.
Oriana.
Your boy DJ Daddy in the building.
Your girl Serenity.
Your boy the Juice.
So shy.
And your boy B Shaw.
Thank you all for tuning into our show. Today we have a lot of interesting topics lined up, but we're actually going to be continuing this discussion that we had as far as this internet beef. So with all of the internet beef that's been going on, which one do you think could have been avoided? Now, started with Megan and Tory. Megan and Tory instantly got into it earlier this year. It was between her best friend, and a lot of the issues that kind of spurred upon social media was Tory kind of went to social media first. Megan wasn't saying anything, but because he beat her to social media first, it caused her to have to speak up, and this has been an issue all going year. Then you were able to find out more bits and pieces, but is that something that could have been avoided? I'm gonna go ahead and start off with Serenity. Do you feel like this could have been avoided?
I feel like it could have. Absolutely, it could have just been avoided even before the gunshots, So I feel like they definitely could have avoided the intention and the aggravation if they would have just left each other alone in the first place. But people just don't know how to do that.
Look, I ain't never been shot in the foot before, right? But the way she be walking and the way she be dancing look normal to me. But hey, that's none of my business.
Did you all hear that song "Shots Fired" on her album?
Let us know what the issue was, but I feel like that was unnecessary. I hate when people go to albums and mixtapes to do diss track. That's unnecessary.
But that's what it's about, though. It's a rap industry kind of situation. So that's what they do. They go to Wax, go to
I just feel like
the studio.
She had not that she didn't have no choice, because we all have choices here. But it's because Tory was calling her out in her name, like she was trying to be low key about it, handle it, wash her hands, and then leave it alone. But no, he want to be a sissy and go to social media. I said what I said.
Okay, what you got to say?
Serenity kind of said what I was gonna say. And then when it comes to her speaking back on it, I do feel like you guys also have to realize she's not just a regular person. She has PR behind her. She has her image and her character that she has to worry about. So if she's coming off hard and stuff and somebody challenges her publicly, she's going to have to respond publicly. Right. And in that way, I don't think she really had necessarily a choice in that fact, because now she has to say something and she has to write an album. And I think that also goes towards her best friend who started talking about her. It's like, well, dang, now I got to mention you because you said something about me. So I definitely agree with Serenity that it all could have been avoided up until her getting herself shot, because there were pictures. She was shot, whether we believe it or not, she was. And I just hope it all goes away very, very soon, because I think it already is. So hopefully no more of that in 2021.
Yes.
Hopefully.
I feel like this is like the clout era, though. Like everybody runs to the internet to get like some kind of attention, or some kind of following or whatever it is, So that's pretty much why he probably ran to the internet, to get his buzz up or whatnot, whatever it was.
Y'all remember at the beginning of the year where he had like the best live of the year? It was like over
quarantine radio.
I was a fan.
Quarantine.
Like that, and how he did the whole colorism thing. Like he took, when the director put the light-skinned girl inside the video, and he's like, no, I want her in it. He was doing good. He started off good.
You know how 2020 started off good.
It sure did.
It showed.
Another thing, Mulatto is thinking about changing her name because social media has been on her. They've been calling her a colorist because her name has a very how can I put this? Down south, they mulatto pretty much is a name that they call biracial children. But back in the day, biracial children only became biracial children because they were being raped by the slave masters. So for her to have that name, a lot of people was not liking the fact that she has that name and still driving with it. But she did do an interview saying that she's in works of trying to get this name fixed. She's not too sure what she should call herself, which I say she call herself Big Lotto. But still, she was also saying just even being an artist, it takes time and it's a lot of money, and to just happen to change your name this far into your career. So she was just saying like a lot of people should be more patient. But DJ Day, what are your thoughts? Do you feel like this could have been avoided if she would have took the history behind that name into consideration?
Well, I feel like it all started when she was coming up on the show. What was that? The Rap Game, when she was with JD, and she had to change her name from Miss Mulatto to Mulatto because he felt like that was like some kind of thing, like you said, it was not colorism, but it was like something that you don't want a female to be called Miss Mulatto. It was like something behind JD's theory. So so she couldn't use that name. So I like the name that you were saying, Big Lotto, though. That sounds pretty dope. You know,
that's what she calling herself though. Big Lotto. She been saying it on every song. So it's like, why you not coming out with that?
Right, but I'm not sure about the whole branding thing and how, you know, how it is if you change, how it is like if you can't change your name like too far in the game, or I don't know how that is, you know. But Big Lotto sounds
there's
good to me
multiple
personally.
artists that change their name all the time.
Like Yeezus, Kanye, did he change his name?
You know how many times P. Diddy changed his name?
Yeah, that's true too. So I'm not sure how that whole situation works, but you know, I like the name.
Yeah.
But
what's your thoughts?
So do you even know how she even came up with the name Mulatto? Like, why did they even start calling her that from the jump? Did she actually search the name?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Isn't that like black and white mixed?
Yeah, because that's what they would call her in her hood.
And look, baby, I didn't even know. I was just out here, Big Lotto. Like, I didn't know what was the problem. But Big Lotto, I mean, Big Lotto should be changed. Like, it should go to that because she says it in every song, like Deshaun said. Plus, when you say Big Lotto, it seems like lottery.
Yeah, it sounds dope. It sounds like money.
Lotto, but moving into this next altercation, YoungBoy and Floyd has been at it ever since Money Yaya has been getting into it with NBA YoungBoy. Earlier this year, YoungBoy called Floyd out of his name, and Floyd went on an interview retaliating, saying, well, you know, I can't really judge nobody like that because of his upbringing. So, and when YoungBoy made his comment, he actually was directing it towards Kodak Black. And something that was kind of going on because they were saying that during the time when Money Yaya stabbed the girl in her arm, YoungBoy called the police on her. So that was a rumor that Kodak Black had started, and he was responding to that. But Floyd kind of took the context out of proportion and retaliated. Now, do you feel like that altercation could have been avoided? And I'm gonna go ahead and pass this off to B. Shaw.
I feel like it definitely could have been avoided, but in terms of Floyd misinterpreting it, I mean, that's just how it goes. I mean, when you in beef and you don't directly address somebody, all types of people could get offended. You know, like if you make a post if you're being broad in a post, you'll get all messages saying, oh, is that about me? So like, if you're not directly addressing somebody, definitely different people could get offended. So I don't feel like that could have been avoided.
How about you, Miss KK? What's your thoughts?
I don't know much on the situation, but going off of B. Shaw, I do agree. Like when you have a broad statement, especially when you're a public figure and you already got like some arguments with other people going on, and you can't, like, if you're gonna say one person, you got to say that one person name. And honestly, that's another reason why I'm like, social media is a little bit whack if you go there with your problems, because if you're not hard enough to say their name, type out their name, then just keep it to yourself, because then stuff like this happens where everybody just is catching the bait.
Man, definitely. And 2020 also sparked a great debate and a social awareness movement. George Floyd and Breonna Taylor's death was a tragedy, but more than 500,000 people came out and protested across the world. Oriana, why do you feel this movement was so important to history?
Because stuff like this should have been like abolished. Like, it shouldn't happen. There's no reason why it should happen. There's no excuse to what has been going on. And for us, people like us, light skin, dark skin, to get treated like that, I don't think it's right at all.
Okay, how about you, Juice? What are your thoughts? Because I know you were heavily involved in the Black Lives Matter movement. You was doing a lot of things with your father in the community. So what are your thoughts?
I'll probably say that it's basically similar to Oriana's response. I think it was not really fair for black people getting disrespected by police brutality. And I just really feel like whenever I see like a video or something like that, I just feel like it's just not fair, so That's just how I feel.
Exactly. It's not. And Serenity, what are your thoughts on celebrities who remain silent? Because I feel like that wasn't fair to their fans when they remained silent when we needed the most.
Um, to me, like I felt very like it was discouraging, because they want to talk about like all this other stuff, what they're doing. If they would be so quick to hop on the train if they was to be talking about another celebrity, but yet they wasn't so quick to hop on a train when it came down to something that happened in their own community and it was, for us, when it's something for us. And granted, there was some celebrities who did speak up and stand out, but when they would say something, and then when the light was shined on them, and like we wanted more, they was like, "Oh, that's all I can do." And I'm like, "That's not all you can do. Like, get yourself together."
And the crazy part is, the baby was one of those people. He dropped a bigger picture. It did great numbers. And then it's like he backed away from the conversation. And I didn't appreciate that because he was so big, but he definitely made up for it because he sponsored George Floyd's daughter's 7th birthday. She had a birthday party this past weekend and he decorated with the balloons, gave her like her little her mannequin stand, doing hair, anything a little girl would want to do, baking cookies. She had it at her party. So that was
cool. I seen that.
So it was like, people be knowing that they're in the wrong. I just appreciate when they just try to make it right. I feel like that's always what matters.
But that's the thing. Like, I think it takes people like KJ Gabrielle, who calls out these celebrities. You want to speak up. Now we're going to hold you accountable. And I think that's something that we all need to do. We need to hold each other accountable. We need to hold our commissioners. We need to hold our mayors. We need to hold everybody who's in that type of line who can make a difference. We need to hold them accountable to make that difference. Because if we're not holding ourselves and them accountable, how can we make change? And if we're going to be the change, if we want change, we got to be the change.
Yeah, but I feel like are we looking at some of these celebrities and artists as like activists, like as like they're Malcolm X or somebody? Because I feel like they're just entertainment at the end of the day. Like
their market, but if you're just
their market is to make money. That's what it's about.
If you're just entertainment, then don't speak on it at all. That's what I'm saying.
I agree with that too.
If you talk to yourself, and if you're what they call a what is it, like personal blogger, like lifestyle stuff, if you're sitting up here preaching about all this other stuff, don't be surprised when people come to you wanting you to preach about something that really matters. That's exactly. You have to weigh your expectations and what expectations you give your fans. You have to be mindful of that. If you want to be the type to just make music, be like that one artist who didn't show her face at all. She just wanted to be known for her music. She didn't say nothing. She didn't do nothing.
For the longest, she did not show her face. She covered it because she didn't want them to be like, "Oh, she cute. That's why I like her." No, she wanted to be known for singing. But that's why my favorite artist is Chance the Rapper, because not only does he have good music and I love his music, but he also does for his community. He's a very big rapper of Chicago, and you won't see him not doing something in Chicago for his city. The police try to do something bad, he turn around, flip it, and make it into something good.
Yeah, I'm inspired by those kind of people too. Because I feel like if you get in that kind of position of power, you definitely should look out for your people and teach your people the game, so they could, eventually do for themselves eventually,
But we already spoke upon. Nipsey Hussle does it. Did it. Exactly. My bad. Did it. Yeah, Kobe Bryant did that.
Yeah.
There's people who are out here doing that. But they ain't taking not that they ain't taking credit. It's the other folks who are ruining it for them.
Yeah. And speaking of big change, the Senate recently passed the Crown Act of 2020, which is an act that is creating a respectful and open world of natural hair, and is a law that prohibits discrimination based on hair texture and hairstyles. Now, So Shy, how does this act make you feel?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that question one more time?
How does this act make you feel? The Crown Act is an act that pretty much prohibits people discriminating on your hair texture and hairstyle.
Oh, well, I feel as if there shouldn't, like that shouldn't even be a thing, because if you want to wear your hair the way you want to wear your hair, then that should just be that. No matter the color, the length, the style, none of that. Now, I can understand how some people might see, like in corporate for example, like corporate America, if you were working there, then if you had like hot pink hair or hot blue hair coming in there, it would be kind of like distracting, as some people say. But it's all how you carry yourself and how you wear it. Because I wear blue hair, green hair, yellow hair. It's all how I carry myself. I don't go out, being loud or being extra.
It's not what you do, it's how you do it, right?
Yes, and it's not what you wear, it's how you wear it. There you go.
There it is.
You better stand on it. That's your personal brand.
Exactly.
That's true.
That's how you express yourself.
Exactly. And Oriana, what are your thoughts?
I kind of agree with Shawnee. Like, it shouldn't matter, but like, yeah, some corporate places, of course, will say something about it. But then we also got to remember there's still like people who are set in their ways, like older people who are set in their ways. And if they see that somebody like maybe at McDonald's has blue hair or hot pink hair, they're going to be like, I don't want to ever go here. And there are those Karens that, just a lot of people who get upset for the wrong reasons.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
And since we're on this train of positivity, R&B singer Akon is building a real-life Wakanda, which is going to be worth $6 billion in Africa. Juice, how do you feel about this? Like, how exciting is it to get a real version of Wakanda?
I would pretty much say it's a blessing, especially for the African community, because usually in Africa, if you like learn the history of Africa, there's shelter. They don't really, have shelter like the United States have. Like they don't really have like big houses like we have, and like other stuff like that. Yeah,
I think they do.
Yeah, so I think
some places, but yeah.
I also think that Akon did spend like $5 billion or something like that. Because I act just like my dad, so I just feel like I I'll probably say it's worth for it, but if it comes to like a different, perspective, then I wouldn't been spending $6 billion or $5 billion on like a city.
Exactly. And B-Shar, what are your thoughts? What can you add to what Juice said? You just gotta B-Shar, you gotta
my bad. I'm sorry. I said I definitely agree with him, and I say it's about time, Like I feel like it's definitely gonna be a landmark, and a lot of African Americans, I know it's gonna be tough to get a flight all the way over there, but try to go over there because it's gonna be a wonderful place to learn about your history.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's
and just imagine, like, the whole movie, everybody wanted to go to Wakanda when the whole movie came out. Shoot, I thought Wakanda was real for a minute.
And the crazy thing is, the one thing I like about it is that Akon, based off the city that he wanted to make, was for Black Panther and also for Chadwick Boseman's memorial. So I really like that. I think that was very smart, and and if I was Akon, I would definitely sign that deal for the sake of Africa and for the sake of other Black communities who need shelter and need other important things in their life.
Okay, Juice. Well, you definitely ended us on a positive note, a strong one at that. That's all we have for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for listening to our Teen Talk wrap-up discussion. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at Teen Talk Vegas 881, and also check us out